Stephen A., you're in Cleveland. It's apropos to ask you this question. Can they win it all with this team?
No, they cannot. They could possibly get to the NBA Finals, although I believe Chicago is the team standing in their way, as evidenced by that debacle that took place last night when they stomped the New York Knicks. But that's a story for another segment. But in the end, when we look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, as this roster is presently constructed, I don't think they have all the pieces they need to close the deal and win it all. They'll be one of the top teams in the game. They'll be definitely one of the top two teams in the Eastern Conference. They could potentially get to the finals, but they're not beating whoever the representative is out west unless they get one or two new pieces. They could use an additional big man, big body, and or they could use Ray Allen. Ray Allen comes to this team with Mike Miller already here, with the Kyrie Irving, with the Kevin Love, with the LeBron James. Oh, it could be special. There's no question about that. But if you don't get a Ray Allen, you don't get an additional big body, I don't think you're beating a team out west. So the answer to the direct question of whether or not they could win it all is no.
I do think they can win the Eastern Conference, and I'm going to stick with my pick of Cleveland to win it all in the East, even though I think we all learned last year during the finals just how important depth is, as we saw from my San Antonio Spurs. And I saw a whole lot of depth from the Bulls that you picked last night. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But I like Cleveland's depth. And speaking of depth, of personality, this is what I want to toss back to you, and I respect your insight into this. I am fascinated, starting tonight, to see LeBron James without Dwayne Wade at his side. I think you agree with me, and from all the people I know who are around the two of them, that Dwayne Wade was very important in LeBron's growth as a professional basketball player, as not only a big brother, but a mentor. I believe that Dwayne taught LeBron a lot about how to win at the highest level in this league. And yet, in the end, even last year, as they came apart in the finals, I still got the sense that the leader of that team, the biggest force in that locker room, was still Dwayne. And obviously, some of that authority got diminished by his injuries that he kept fighting through. Although I must quickly add, last night, Dwayne Wade, after suffering a little minor injury, like he got kneed in the calf.
Yeah, it got twisted.
He came back with 5:58 left in the game. And Stephen A., he scored 12 points. Boom, 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 hit 2 threes, and he started to shoot more threes. I thought he deferred a lot of his game to LeBron and others over the last 4 years. And he closed the deal last night in the ways that Dwayne can close the deal. And by the way, you've made a big point about Chris Bosh has got to live up to that max. 26 points and 15 rebounds against a pretty good Washington team was a pretty good start. So it's going to be very interesting to see if the Heat can continue to rise. I think they're going to be a factor. I've got them going all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. But my point is, how will LeBron be as the alpha dog now in Cleveland? He is obviously the man, the leader back in his hometown. With young Kyrie at the point, will they clash a little bit? Will they have to come to a meeting of the minds as Kyrie has the ball in his hands and maybe wants to take 1 or 2 more shots than LeBron thinks he should take? It's going to be fascinating to watch LeBron take what he learned from Dwayne in Miami and see if he can bring it back into play in Cleveland in ways that he couldn't when he was a younger player in his first go-round in Cleveland.